rise for a moment of silent prayer and pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Briggs.
Here.
Weiss.
Here.
Addie.
Here.
Elder.
Here.
Weibel.
Here.
Reese.
Here.
Sleep.
Here.
Okay, hello everyone. Council has a copy of the minutes for the last meeting, has had a chance to review them. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? Okay, then they'll stand as they are. We also have a copy of the agenda for tonight. Any additions to the agenda? Okay, well, we can get started right away with the reading.
Third reading of an ordinance to make appropriations in the amount of $67,500,865.00 for the expenses and expenditures for the 2026 fiscal year, January 1st through December 31st, for the city of Fremont, state of Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Madam President,
Yes.
move to adopt.
Second.
John Elder moves to adopt. Christine Weiss seconds. Any questions or comments on this?
Yeah,
Okay.
and just, the city auditor wasn't here last meeting. Welcome back, like feeling better.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to ask if he had any comments or anything that he felt maybe was missed in his absence before he left.
No, I don't believe so. Before I fell ill last meeting during the workday, I had a chance to review the presentation with the mayor and the safety service director, and so we all kind of were able to go over it, kind of share notes and stuff and what we were going to present to council. And so I think I had one question from council that got emailed to me, and so I guess I would just open it up that is there anything that I could maybe answer that maybe council hasn't had a chance to ask, but no, I didn't have anything else to add. So.
Okay. Roll call.
Weiss.
Yes.
Addie.
Yes.
Elder.
Yes.
Weibel.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Sleek.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Approved. Next.
Third reading of an ordinance authorizing fund transfers in the amount of $18,335,494.00 for the calendar year 2026 for the city of Fremont, state of Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
I'll make a motion to adopt.
Second.
John Elder makes a motion to adopt. Chris Leibold seconds. Any comments from anyone on this or questions? Okay, roll call.
Addie.
Yes.
Elder.
Yes.
Weibel.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Sleek.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Approved.
Second reading of an ordinance amending chapter 133 of the codified ordinances of the city of Fremont entitled Fire Department and declaring an emergency.
Anybody want to speak on this one? No? Okay,
I
that'll,
thought the fire chief spoke to it last meeting.
is it, do we need to suspend Rule 4?
Did he say?
I don't recall.
Well, I think the answer is yes, because he's done at the end of the month. Right.
Oh,
So I think the answer is yes.
Okay, I move to suspend Rule 4.
Second.
Angie Reese moves to suspend Rule 4. Jim Sleek seconds. Any questions about the suspension of Rule 4? Roll call.
Elder.
Yes.
Weibel.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Sleek.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Addie.
Yes.
I move to adopt.
Second.
Angie Reese moves to adopt. Jim Elder. John Elder.
She did. She did.
John Elder. Second. Further comment or questions on this?
Yeah, thank you, Madam President. I'm assuming then, like, so the assistant chief is retiring, and then we need to post or hire people for the new
So they've already worked through that process, so they've had their promotional exams. And so they know who is moving up to battalion chief, I believe, and then who is filling in those other command roles that are being vacated by the individuals that are moving up to command or battalion chief. I'm not 100% sure if they have, I don't know if after that movement, then if they will be then posting for firefighter, because everybody will move up, and then eventually at the bottom of the totem pole, there will be some firefighters positions that I don't, but having said that, I do believe off the last list, the chief was hiring in anticipation of this movement. And so I think we have been, for lack of a better term, a little heavy on department personnel in anticipation of the movement. But my apologies, I'm not 100% sure. But either way, there either is firefighters there, so when the dust settles, they will be staffed the way they're supposed to be, or once the dust settles, then they will post for a new firefighter entrance exam to then fill in those gaps. But I want to say Chief had talked, and he had talked to myself and the safety service director. With everything else, I just can't quite remember off the top of my head, but.
That's accurate.
Okay.
That's accurate. They're staffing, the most recent round of hiring backfilled the expected promotions, and this legislation approves the vacancy of like the assistant chief and the battalion chief's creation and those movements.
Thank you. That's what I thought.
Yeah, and civil service Wednesday afternoon approved the hiring of the person and readjustment of that.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah, so.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good. Okay, roll call?
Liebel,
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Sleek,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Addie,
Yes.
Elder.
Yes.
Approved. Okay, next.
Second reading of an ordinance to accept the application for annexation for the part of the southwest quarter of Section 28, Township 5, North, Range 15 East, Township of Sandusky, County of Sandusky, State of Ohio, containing .9710 acres, more or less, approved for annexation by the Board of Sandusky County Commissioners in Resolution 2025-355, and to adopt the recommendations of the zoning inspector for the interim zoning of the area to be R2 residential district.
Madam President. What? Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna speak to it real quick. I think there were a couple questions. When we left the last council meeting, there was questions about it being zoned R2. I touched base with Erica. That's what it was zoned in the township, and during the interim zoning phase, it's gotta kind of stay most similar to what it was. And so but it was a great question, because eventually it's gonna be the new Wendy's. And then I think the question was asked, language at the end declaring an emergency. And yeah, so it's a zoning issue and we can't declare it an emergency. But I would ask council, if you wouldn't mind suspending Rule 4 and voting on this. This is next to Wendy's. This is the empty lot that they bought. They tore down the house. They want to get started on constructing the new Wendy's this spring. And then they're going to construct that, get that one built, get it staffed, get it up and running, and then tear the old one down. Where the old one will sit will be a parking lot. They did this last year at Tiffin, so the same guy that owns the Wendy's at Tiffin, owns the one at Fremont, owns the one in Bellevue. And so that's just part of what they're kind of doing. If you find yourself going through Bellevue, you're going to see theirs closed down and total demo and construction. And then if you want to see a picture of it, here's some renderings. Pass that around and see the new Wendy's. So by suspending Rule 4, it kind of helps them kind of meet their timeline of getting shovel in the dirt this spring.
Madam President, I move to suspend Rule 4.
Second.
Since it's a little word.
Sleek. Motion to suspend Rule 4.
What'd you say, no?
No, did I say no?
No, she did.
Oh,
I had
Who
one.
seconded that? John.
What?
John Elder, second.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? Roll call?
Reese,
Yes.
Sleek,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
yes, Addie,
Yes.
Elder.
Yes.
Liebel.
Yes.
Oh, I have questions.
Okay.
So will this affect the Oak Harbor Road projects that are going on with?
We have, I know the engineer's office has had contract with our engineers, the contractor for Wendy's, and they're coordinating that. So I don't know all the details, but they've sat in a room and talked about, hey, we're gonna do the east side of Oak Harbor Road, then we're gonna do the west side, and then we're gonna start at the Oak Harbor Road end and then work north. And I think the way they are gonna reconstruct the road, Oak Harbor Road, they're gonna lay it out so that they're in and out of the way of the Wendy's.
And I would
So-
also imagine that they can get in on the backside
Yeah.
as well.
So, I think a lot of my understanding is they're starting Oak Harbor Road March 30th.
Yes.
And so I think the road contractors are gonna try to get as much work done in the month of April, because I think Wendy's is trying to not start until May. So there's a little bit of a lag time there. And as part of the annexation council, remember when they come in, we have to give them the interim zoning. It's gotta go back to the planning commission, and then it'll come back here for permanent zoning. We do have a planning commission next week, so it may very well be the very next meeting, we're back here for the permanent zoning designation. So this, sometimes it's like, why are we back here again?
Just a process.
Yeah, just a process.
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to make a comment.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, last meeting that we had, this was presented and Mr. Gross explained it all. And he said that the owners would appreciate, getting passed as soon as possible so they could start on their work. And we were not able to do that because we didn't have enough, we didn't have quorum. We had 2 people missing. And I just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
Okay, did we do roll call?
No, but we got the first and second. Moved and second.
Okay.
Good thing I was here.
Roll call.
Sleek,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Addie,
Yes.
Elder,
Yes.
excuse me, Lidle.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Oh, you got stuck.
First reading of a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a joint cooperation agreement with Sandusky County, City of Clyde, and the City of Bellevue, applying for the Community Development Housing Impact and Preservation CHIP grant for the 2026 funding cycle and declaring an emergency.
Council, this is the time of year we kind of do this every year. This is, I'm not very familiar with it, but the county and the community gets more dollars if we collaborate, and because it's more of a generated area to apply for, and it's for those, rental. I think it's like window replacement, home replacement, and repairs, and so hey, here's this assistance program that you may be able to kind of stay in the home that needs some attention without, maybe you can't afford it. Here's a program that could help you.
So is this grant, if this grant is granted, people go through JOCAP, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the administrator.
Is there an amount for this?
Not yet.
No, I don't know.
There is, but it's all funneled through the county. The county is the lead organization on this. Where before, the county had their own grant program, the city of Clyde had their own, the city of Fremont had their own, and exactly what Bob stated, by collaborating, it just allows us to have more grant dollars awarded because it's more efficient, it's a bigger service area. So since the county is the lead, I'm not sure, because it's for the whole county, including Clyde and Fremont and Gibsonburg and everywhere. So I don't know the dollar amount, but then we do have a commitment of, so with these grants, there's something called program income, where when we dole some grant money out, there is a mortgage associated with it, and then when they get to a certain point, they will pay that mortgage back to the grant, and then it's almost like boomeranging back out to help continue to fund the program. And so we do have a small commitment every grant cycle of some of our program revenue or our program income for the next round of grant awards. And so it's normally, I would say, probably somewhere between like $25,000 and $50,000 for the grant period, which is normally, I believe, a 2-year complete grant cycle, because I think even this one is approving us to enter into the agreement for two fiscal years. And so we know what the third floor, like Elena and Lena, they know what the whole program is. And then we have a smaller commitment of our resources here that have been a part of this program in the past, if that makes sense.
So instead of the dollar amount, do you know the percentage that each city gets? For instance, Fremont's larger than Clyde, larger than Bellevue. Do we also get a larger slice of that pie?
I do not know the answer to that. I don't think it's allocated by like municipality and non-municipality. I think because it's consolidated, it's just doled out throughout the whole county.
I think it's based on need.
And then I was gonna say, but then throughout that, just because of our population and our,
Right.
you know, the socioeconomic makeup of Fremont, I think naturally we get more grant dollars that stay here in Fremont, but it is administered through the whole county. But I do not know the percentage.
I don't think it's ever been a percentage. It's always been, to have the grant, we have to apply for it every year.
Right.
It's a yearly occurrence.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not an earmarked percentage, but I'm sure we could look back and see like, oh, in the last grant cycle, we were awarded $500,000, and out of that $500,000, City of Fremont residents were awarded 40% of it or something like that.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'd be
What does
interested
the
in
county
that.
do with their portion?
Same, it's all the same type of,
Well, I mean, if the county has money, where does someone apply to obtain it?
Glee Cap.
Still?
Yeah, it's
everything
still
is
Glee
done-
Cap.
Everybody in the county goes through
Yeah.
GLCAP.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
GelCap, yeah, so GelCap is kind of the third-party administrator,
Okay.
and then when it comes to the grant and all the reporting to the state,
Mhm.
the county is the lead in our arrangement countywide. So as the grant, like the award is made to the county from the state, and then the county contracts with GleeCap to then administer it for people to apply.
And we have to be the participating member to apply for the county to get it.
It bolsters our application when we're
All together.
all teamed up, yes.
I'll make a motion to suspend Rule 4.
I second.
Any further questions? Roll call?
Briggs,
Yes.
Lees,
Yes.
Addie,
Yes.
Elder,
Yes.
Wyval.
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Sleep.
Yes, move to adopt.
Jenny Addy moves to adopt. Who wants a second?
Second.
Jim Sleek seconds. Anything further? Okay, roll call?
Lees,
Yes.
Addie,
Yes.
Elder.
Yes.
Wyval.
Yes.
Reese,
Yes.
Sleep,
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Approved. Clean the slate. Okay, moving on, we're gonna go to committee reports, and I'll start with Denny Addy and Streets and Utilities.
Nothing really at this time. I can say I've been a little slack on going out to see what street lights are out in this city, but I will re-pick that up.
When it gets warmer.
No, not necessarily, gives me something to do.
Okay.
I have an exciting life. But that's about it. Nothing else on safety council. We do have a meeting coming up the 24th. So hopefully, when I get back, what did I say? I won't be here the first meeting of April. But when I get back, I'll give you reports.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Chris Leipold, Finance and Labor.
Nothing, Madam President.
Jim Sleek, Economic Development.
Thank you, Madam President. As you can see, if you drove by the old Rite Aid, they are working to make another car wash. And do you have a complete date on that, Mr. Groves?
90 days, I think you're looking at
90 days.
end of June.
It seems like they're getting busy in there now, knocking some stuff around. So just a caution to anybody driving out that way, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna be happening down 19 on Carver Road. And also, I was working with the Safety Service Director, Mr. Frost, and Bill Goon. We are
trying to figure out if we're going to go with a steady green light on 19 going north and south, and then there'll be a caution as you come out of the old Kmart, which I've been wanting to do that since first term. It's my third term, so it's taken a little while. But there's some reasons behind that. But so just keep that in mind, and changing the speed limit there a little. We want to talk about that to increase that, because there's really not much hazard, not like it used to be, you know, with Kmart in there. So just a word of caution to anybody driving out that way. There's going to be a lot of construction.
I have a question for you,
Yes.
Councilman. The Stone Street, did they ever reopen Stone Street traffic? Remember we were talking about?
No.
He died.
And what about the dark place? Is that going to reopen?
I went over a couple times and tried to catch somebody there just to get some information, and it's been locked up. Sealed up.
Gotcha.
I would, if I find out anything,
I'm just curious.
No, trust me, so I'm curious about a lot of empty stores in the Potter Village. We need to, I want a meeting. I've talked to Mr. Gross about that. We gotta get a meeting with the owner and see if we can't get some small businesses back in them storefronts. I'm done.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim.
John Elder, Laws, Rules, and Ordinances.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Okay. Danielle, Briggs, Parks and Recreation.
Only one item tonight, Madam
Oh,
President.
okay.
Yeah. Baseball and softball registration is active and open right now at the rec center. So anybody who wants to participate, it's both youth and adult leagues. So get out there, get active, enjoy the parks.
Okay, thank you. Angie Reese, Citizen Service Committee.
I don't have much to say. I know that there was a serious fire over at Crown Battery, but I haven't been able to talk to the chief about it. But I will give a report on it next week. That's all.
Okay. Christine Weiss, Community Partnership Committee.
Nothing tonight, thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Okay. Bob Gross, anything tonight?
Two things. One, I want to share with you what was the Rutherford House on South Buchanan has been bought up, and a company in the next few weeks is going to be, I say next few weeks, it could be a month or two, but they're going to be fixing up the building and adding rooms to it. And here is a picture of it, and if you're familiar with it, it's a square building, and we'll pass this around. We really do have a shortage of assisted living facilities here in Fremont, so this is actually a benefit to our community. Company bought it. Actually, what is Rutherford House right now is not in bad shape, but they're adding a 3-story with elevators and whatnot stairs on the back side. And then when they do that, you can kind of see that's going to be green and the existing is gray. Then they have matching roof lines and do some fix-up and repairs. They're up and running for business now. They're just starting to get back up. But if you remember, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, could be longer than that, 3 years ago, the Rutherford House closed and been vacant, and this company had bought it and put it to plan. So I wanted to share that with you, and people start wondering, the swinging of the hammers over on South Buchanan. They're expanding their operations to add more assisted living. The other thing I have is I have something very valuable in this hand. This is something that at this time of the year, this community craves and seeks out, and I want you to know that I have them here in case you want them. But these are the infamous Kiwanis pancake tickets. And you want to get them now because everybody scrambles the days leading up to it and can't find them, and my phone rings off the hook. So it is Wednesday, April 22nd. So starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. Take out some money up, I can't get them back in the envelope. So if you're interested, it's funny because a lot of employers, because I tend to work the parking lot, employers come in and they'll walk out with 20, those styrofoam clamshells and pancakes, and so. And remember, it was that pancake festival that helped fund a large portion of the Kiwanis all-inclusive play parks. That's the type of things, these funds go towards, so.
Is that at Victor's?
It is at Victor's, yep. And I think, is John or Dave's birthday?
Maybe.
Wishing happy birthday. Ally, is it his birthday?
Yeah, I saw the mayor was saying happy birthday, Sean.
I just wanted to be noted, I am not the oldest person on council, nor am I the youngest though, so.
Who is the oldest on council?
Angie.
Angie?
Angie is.
Yeah, don't point your finger. I thought it was Chris Liebald.
Oh.
Okay, Chief Munsinger, do you have anything tonight?
Yes, Madam President, thank you. I wanted to have a couple moments to make a couple comments on what happened in our city on March 11th with DAP and Ben's parking lot. And I'll start off with saying that the City of Fremont Police Department is committed to the safety of this community and crime prevention in the city. I know the city's administration supports that commitment. On that night, Mr. Melly, the mayor's office staff, and I, the Fremont Police Department, Sandusky County Sheriff, we had a lot of people working on that situation to make sure that we came to the correct resolution. I want to know, the Fremont Police Department has trained officers who do chatting investigations. When this all began back in 2020, we had a plan, did some training, and when all the noise goes away, we'll still be doing the work that we've been doing. Since then, we have brought 58 child predators and chatting investigations to prosecution. 53 of those are guilty convictions through today. 2 are not guilty by reason of their mental status, able to be sent to trial, and 3 are pending. So we have a very good success rate with our cases there. That's not the only work that we do. We investigate something very similar to that called cyber tips through the NACMEC, which is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which we do a lot of work with. So I would like to take questions if there's anything specific about that or this scenario.
Anybody?
Glad to get that information, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Chief, no, I think it's important that you get that out there, and I obviously don't support vigilantism, but obviously there's a perceived need and a perception that there's a lack of investigations by our department and other departments.
Right.
Being in the legal world, I know that's not true, okay, because we see these things, and I know that you guys investigate, I know you guys get people, but obviously the perception is different from that, and we need to change that, and maybe we do need more investigations.
Yeah, so as we wrestle with how much is enough, I am challenged with coming up with that number. No matter how many, if we had 100, 1,000, would it be enough? I'm not really sure if any of us in this room or nationwide can come up with the number of enough, right? So with all the responsibilities that everybody has, I feel like the Fremont Police Department and our law enforcement partners are doing pretty good. If anything, this sheds more attention on a serious matter of child sexual assault and exploitation, and we could all take some time and as parents talk to our kids, as educators teach our kids, and as peers, us included, and our children hold each other accountable, especially in the online spaces that we exist in.
Chief Wenzinger, if I may ask, is there a need for us as council to approve any additional funds for training, training?
The city of Fremont and you as a council already give the Fremont Police Department a pretty healthy training budget.
Right,
which we
but additional is what I'm asking. Do we?
Well, I think the true cost is not training. The true cost is highly trained investigators and their overtime hours and their irregular hours that you have to do these types of investigations, and some of the collateral costs like equipment and things, which I would say the city of Fremont is putting the Fremont Police Department in a pretty good position to spend those tax dollars in that way appropriately.
Sure. Just thought.
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Their police training should cover all this anyhow, right?
Well, I would say that this
Well, with
is
the
significantly
variation.
advanced police training. That's way more in-depth than the majority of officers are able to or willing to participate in. As you can imagine, some of the conversations that some of our officers participate in, pretending to be children, to lure appropriately in a non-entrapment way child predators.
And you probably can't really put a number on the, let's say, the traps that are baited, but they don't.
Yeah, so when I talk about 58 cases coming to prosecution, one of those cases could be on a day where an officer spends 6 hours just waiting in different online spaces. And we all know that the internet is a very, very big place. And as a new app hits the market every day, whether it's Kik, WhatsApp, I don't really want to name all the things that we're on, but these are pretty, like, any 15-year-old kid can get on the app market or the iPhone, whatever the iPhone market's called, and find 20 different online, you could do it on
Yeah, there's a plethora.
all kinds, there's a plethora of places. And our investigators are lurking around all
Becomes
those
an
places.
IT issue.
As a matter of fact, it is a pretty significant IT issue, and our IT department consistently gives our investigators attention to make sure that they can access and re-access the places.
Chief, do you have any appetite to partner with citizen groups? I'm not specifically saying DAP, but citizen groups that can help you identify some of these people, or do you just want people out of your investigations?
I think the biggest thing that citizen groups can do is educate each other, educate our kids. So there's absolutely space for partnerships in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
When we're talking specifically about investigations, the Ohio Revised Code, and I'll defer to Mr. Melly to maybe explain this even further, but the Ohio Revised Code section that we are talking about has elements of the crime that we must prove that include the victim be a child the age of this, this, and this, or a law enforcement officer pretending to be a child of this age.
Mm-hmm.
So it would not include someone else, not a law enforcement officer, operating the way that someone else operates. It doesn't violate the same law that we're chasing with that specific type of investigation. So thank you for that question. The most important thing that our community members can do is educate our kids. As a parent, be mindful of what their kids are doing. Talk to your kids about the pressure they can exert on their peers, or the things that they can do when they discover one of their peers might be doing something, chatting with somebody that maybe isn't inappropriate.
Why is the onus on the kid and not on the perpetrator?
I 100% agree that the onus should not be on the kid, and that's not what I'm suggesting. But kids are kids, and they're going to do things, myself included as a kid, that you get in trouble for that maybe are not the best decision. I want all of the onus to be on the perpetrator.
Could I add something, Chief?
Sure.
Do you remember, and some of the members here should remember this, that we did have a group here, I can't remember what it's called, Block Watch?
A long time ago.
A long time ago, we had Block Watch here. And let's say that there were burglaries in your neighborhood. So all of a sudden, all these people come in, we're going to catch these burglars, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. As soon as the burglar is caught, or as soon as it sort of, nothing else happens again, the attendance is down.
Yeah.
The room was full at first, and then all of a sudden there was nothing there. Until something happens, people don't do anything about it. And we always said, because there was a police officer there at these meetings, if not the chief, maybe a police officer.
Sergeant
If you
Scully
see-
was generally there, added a little humor.
Well, this is a serious matter. If, now you mean,
Well, and I would comment that, as attention to certain issues, whether it be this or burglaries or whatever it is, when we know that something has more attention, obviously we'd be responding to it more. During the summertime, when there are more speeding complaints, we increase our speeding enforcement. And I would just say again that this whole scenario in the Denny's parking lot on March 11th The one good thing it did was increased awareness. Increased awareness at our police department, increased awareness in our community, and that's not a bad thing.
Well, hopefully it increases
Don't you think that it
awareness
could have
to-
scared, I mean, I've had people tell me if they would have been in that situation, they would have been, as just a customer in the restaurant, they would have been horrified.
Yeah.
And what happens if there's somebody in there sitting with it and they panic because all this screaming and yelling is going on? It's a very dangerous situation, in my opinion.
That's
Our
why in
officers
block
and
watch-
our community members and our officers and deputies and state troopers who respond to that were all in a bad circumstance, a bad situation.
Right.
Could escalate very dangerously. We de-escalated the situation by providing a lot of security for one person and evacuating that person out of that building. And I would remind everybody that, you
We're
know,
glad that it
as
came out
As a sworn law enforcement
safe.
officer, we have to protect the constitutional due rights of every person that we come across,
Sure.
including suspects, including people who have these allegations against them.
Right.
And I do know that in some of these vigilante confrontations, people have been hurt. Crimes have been committed, including assault, unlawful restraint, inducing panic, in some cases robbery, when somebody forcefully takes one of these, online predators' phones away from them physically. Like, these are very serious confrontations. And I'll step back a couple minutes and just say that, the idea behind reducing child sexual exploitation on the internet is something I can get behind.
Right.
The manner in which vigilante groups like that on March 11th and other vigilante groups, I just cannot agree or condone or support that tactic. But to your question about what can people from the community do, it's those things. It's our parents talking to our kids. It's our educators supporting those safe online practices. It's our peers, us talking to each other, maybe not necessarily kids, and it's us talking to our kids about their conversations with other kids.
My question was about partnering with these groups. So if a partnership existed with these types of groups, maybe it wouldn't have been a vigilante type of situation where you would have understood that this was already happening and you could have been there. So if the department doesn't see value in partnering with those groups, I think that's a miss. Because they're still going to do it, and a more positive impact could have been with, or could be in the future, to have a partnership and a relationship with these groups, because you already know they exist.
That has been tried and has not been accepted.
Because DAP has caused, this is not the first time this has happened.
DAP's been charged in multiple areas.
Yeah.
And I know it's a nationwide
Yeah.
But
organization,
this particular vigilante group has had, it's historic with them, isn't it?
It is, and I don't want to dwell on that.
Right.
Like I said, the idea behind what the vigilante group is after, in my heart, reducing that, I can get behind.
Mhm.
I question their interest. On Monday, they were supposed to show up to a meeting. They didn't. They did provide some phone call, audio, and screenshots of messaging. But when asked about the device, specifically that they use, specifically in Denny's, they told us that they wiped it electronically, so we couldn't have it.
We've tried.
That's challenging to say that we partners with anybody who does that kind of thing.
So I'm understanding that your answer is you have interest in partnering if they are not accepting the partnership.
Well, I think my statement would be, I'm interested in the information they can provide, but I could not rely on anything that group specifically would provide based off of historically my direct experience with them wiping electronic devices, saying that they'd come to a meeting and did not, organizing, I'm not even sure what to call the event, the mob mentality event, a very dangerous scenario. And I have more opinions, but I think just as the chief of police, I could also not align the Fremont Police Department, any of our detectives or officers with a group that commits assault, unlawful restraint, menacing. There's no room for a partnership in a vigilante group like that. Now,
The other thing to add is the credibility in court with that is nil.
That's what I was wondering, that's what I was gonna ask. do their cases that they get ever succeed in getting a conviction? Wouldn't it be better if they had the information and just give it to you guys and let you take over?
In a perfect world, I think it would be the best scenario if all of the energy online vigilante groups put forth into video confrontations that they spent that in other places, like April's Child Abuse Awareness Month, going to parades and events. They could go to arraignments, bond hearings, and sentencing hearings for people charged with these offenses. There's lots of other, they could talk to their legislature about changes in the law, like increased penalties. They could have a fundraiser and then start a PAC and do all kinds of legislative pressure on municipalities and states to increase the penalties and give law enforcement officers more tools and more money, funding for overtime, funding for task forces. Like, there's a lot of things you can do, but don't do this thing online and set this confrontation up. It's something I can't get behind.
Right.
I can get behind the mission. I cannot get behind the tactics.
That's one of the things that in Block Watch, they always said, and I say they, the police officer, whoever was there, if you see something happening, call the police. Don't try and handle it yourself.
Right.
Let the police handle it. Right?
I'm going to take this in a different direction, very random.
Okay.
Summertime coming up, bicyclers. Are you going to do the patrol of the bicycle patrol? I think it's a great idea last summer.
So I think as we look at discretionary and mandatory overtime spending, and I think about my conversations with Paul Grahl, 2026 and 2025, I think you might see less bicycle patrol operations, but you'll still see them. You'll still see them at parades and things, and important events. There's absolutely a place for bicycle patrol activities, if that answers your question.
And is it illegal for a bicycler to not stop at the stop sign?
Thank you for that question. If you're on the road, you should follow the road rules. Stop signs, turn signals. You don't have turn signals, hand motions, all that stuff. So yes, you can get a stoplight ticket on a bicycle.
And speaking of speeding tickets, I know there's 2 kids up on the Wayne Street 818 area. One didn't have any lights on his electric bike, and they zoomed. Yeah. Is there anything, we talked about that in the past, about, I'm sure they weren't 16, and I don't know how they have to be.
I'll double down on the fact that the police department needs the community's help in things that we do, including let us know where there are chronic
Just give you a
e-bike violators, because kids tend to stay in the same neighborhoods and crush the same stoplights and drive way too fast without looking across sidewalks. So let us know where there are chronic problems. In the meantime, our officers are out there looking, and if they see something, they will act appropriately, discretion or not, when they come across those.
I was sorry to take it off track to something random, but I thought it was about time.
Well, does anybody in the audience have any questions for Chief Munsinger? No?
I appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
In the intersection of Berkshire and Washington has a lot of kids riding bikes fast without helmets, without looking.
Yeah, they do. I've seen a family of, it was a couple, mom and dad and 3 kids, and they just went right through, and I wanted to say, what are you teaching your children?
Does anyone have any other questions for me?
Thank you.
Thank you.
That could be.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, Jim Melly, anything?
Nothing.
Paul Grau.
I just want to thank council for passing the budget and the transfer ordinance, and again, apologize for my absence during the actual presentation, but appreciate that, and hopefully throughout, like we talked last year, with getting a new accounting system, we had a new budget system that we worked with the department heads with, and as we go through the year and the next budget process, I think it's going to be, we're going to be able to utilize more and more of the features and robustness of it, and be able to get some things online for the public to be able to have access to a little bit more dynamic and user-friendly budget information and than my PDF version of what we presented in years past. So it'll be a build-up. I'm hoping to have a little something dynamic this year, and then as we learn more and get trained more on the functionality, kind of build that up. So,
Thank you.
that's all.
Holly Elder?
I have nothing tonight, Madam President.
Okay, Angie, you have council comment?
Yes, thank you very much, Madam President. This comment is to the members of council. I've been thinking it over, and when there have been items that we needed to pass on Rule 4 because of, like, for the instance of this Wendy's, I'm sure that because it was mentioned there at the last meeting, that they would have appreciated to have that passed on Rule 4 so that they could get started on their work. In order to avoid all this, we have to be here all the time. Now, there are some of us, I know, that have something that comes up, and it's a Thursday night. So I've noticed that a lot of them are track, sport events.
Working.
Well, a few have been working, but it doesn't matter what it was. It seems like Thursday doesn't fit us. And all of us that are here now will be here for at least 4 years, so that we can maybe change the day to more to our needs and, that suit our needs here. I've talked to Law Director Jim Alley, and he said that we can do that. So what I would like to do now is, I will tell you that Mondays, the cities of Tiffin, Oregon, and Woodville have their meetings. On Tuesdays, the cities of Norwalk, Toledo, and Clyde have their meetings. On Thursday, it's Findlay and Fremont. So we could change this to whatever day would be, and I'm flexible. We could change it to some day that would be suitable more to our needs, so that we can perform our duties. I think it's very important that we're able to pass something on the Rule 4, especially when it's an emergency, so that we don't have to come in and have a special meeting just because we didn't have a quorum. So what I'm proposing is thinking it over, and at the next meeting that we have, come in 15 minutes earlier and we'll decide on this.
You just call the council, committee.
Organization.
Yeah. Like
When we did it,
one-
when we did it to move them, we
had
had
a
back to
work session a
7.
lot.
Yeah.
So I know our auditor isn't technically have to be here, but in the fall he never is because Thursday night's volleyball night.
See?
Well, if we
And
change
track
it to
interference.
Tuesday night, it's less likely that, well, no, it's not less likely, because games can be any night of the week. But, Jim, you rarely do a Tuesday. It's always a Thursday and the weekend, correct? So it's just inevitable.
And I missed one since we started back home.
This year, you mean?
And there may be a better night, I don't know what it is.
Right.
But it's something to talk about.
So,
Think
what
about
I
it.
want to do, I went to Councilwoman Ruth, I said, everybody's gonna still say, well, that works better for me, that works better for me, and, I don't know.
Right.
There's
That's
still
why
gonna be
we're-
some conflicts that
Yep.
will come up,
And
and
life
that's
happens.
just inevitable.
But if Thursday is more of a conflict, it makes sense.
And you can change the date and there could be a couple sick.
Right.
Like
Those things happen.
Growl.
Yeah.
And,
He doesn't have to be here. The important thing is our
Yeah.
council people.
right.
Oh, no,
That's who has to be
absolutely.
here.
Yes,
If you take the position, you should
But
fulfill it.
Change it. Yeah.
And it's important that we be here so we can pass these items that
Well,
present.
I'll applaud council tonight, they're all here, so that's great.
Okay, that's all I have to say, so if it's okay, then next meeting, we'll have 15 minutes for that. Okay? Ms.
Denny would like to make a comment.
Well, I was just gonna say, with spring right around the corner, I think the people of Fremont are very nice, but I think for the next few weeks, we have to be extraordinarily, super, fantastically friendly. We got fishermen in town. And I think you're gonna find that this weekend should be a nice start to the walleye run. And people come from all over. People from Fremont don't really go down to the river. We know it's there, and it's there for us anytime we want. So, you know, be aware people might be looking for directions. I know I've had people come up and say where to go for a restaurant, so on and so forth. And I think, oh, the only other thing I have to say is this is an exciting time of year for me, and it's Final Four. So if you want to get away from things and watch something, the games have been pretty darn fantastic. Just something to watch, and anyway, I think that's all I was going to say.
Is that it?
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else on council have a comment on anything tonight? Anybody in the audience want to come up and speak? Come on up. Just state your name for the record.
Thank you, Madam President of Council. It's Heather Pollack with the Sandusky County Land Bank. I didn't get much of a chance to talk to everybody the last time I was here. It was a pretty long meeting, and so I didn't want to bore you too much, but I'm here now and wanted to give you a little bit of an update as to what we're doing. It's kind of a slow time right now because we've applied for the Welcome Home Ohio program, and we're kind of in the middle of waiting on that. I'm thinking end of April, May, we might be hearing back about that. And that's where we're building homes, hopefully up to 25, 11 shovel ready. So we're excited about that opportunity. The brownfield grant, we have $500,000 in grants that we've written and are waiting back to hear on that. The build demo is being bid out this last week, so we should be hearing back shortly with that. So we're just kind of in this flux of waiting to hear back for those grants. I also wanted to say that I've been going to council meetings and hearing a lot about the rubber belting property. I can't remember where exactly it is, in Riley. And it seems to be something that's a big, pardon me?
Erlin.
Pardon?
It's in Erlin.
Erlin? I thought it was Riley Township.
Erlin is.
Well, Erlin is in
Oh, okay,
Erlin.
sorry. So just a lot of people have been very nervous about what could possibly happen there. I guess there's been some concern with people coming into that property. Fire, I think, was just recently put out from a terrain vehicle going around and lighting the brush on fire. If that got in fire, it would have been a disaster for the right half of Sandusky County. It would be devastating. So right now, we can't do anything as a land bank with this property because we have no site control. The person is deceased, and so it has to kind of just go this path through the court system so they can foreclose on it, and then no one's going to buy it. It's going to probably go to foreclosed land. It would be not a good idea for the Sandusky County Land Bank to take it on because it probably wouldn't be able to be insured. Having it go back to forfeited land, the land bank can then step in and speak with the auditor and see about getting this on a brownfield grant. And my idea is to do that sooner rather than later. So some of the steps that we're going to take to try and start that process is to do a phase 1 inspection to see what exactly we're dealing with. Rubber belts don't typically fall under a contaminant. They fall under like trash. So if it's just those belts that have been there, probably not going to work for a brownfield. The people that we work with through BJAM have checked on it and said that it's industrial waste. There was a factory there that made these belts, and when they closed, they moved those belts outside so that it could destroy the factories. So it could help the cause that it's industrial waste, which is part of the grant for the brownfield. The other thing is there's a lot of tires there too, which are health hazard with creating still water for mosquitoes. They also have more of a oil chemical compound that can leach into the topsoil. And then some other people have said that they can see actual contaminants like oil on the ground. Saying that is still not allowing me to get access to go onto this property to find that out. Now, we could probably get a judge to say, okay, you can go and just do pictures and soil sample of phase one, and that'll at least get us started while we wait for the property to get into foreclosure and then become forfeited. So that's just kind of a plan of attack that I have working towards this massive problem that it seems is gonna affect all of Sandusky County if something happens. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Did anybody have any questions regarding what we're doing? Where we're going?
I'd like to talk to you after council if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Make a motion
Anybody
to
else?
adjourn.
I have one thing, and it's just to cover my backside. So the mayor and Ken Frost are not here, and I was supposed to say at the beginning of the meeting, they're not here because they're home sick. 2 weeks ago, the auditor's office got us sick, and I kind of had a stomach bug this past weekend. Ken's been fighting it the last couple days, and then the mayor's been fighting it the last 24 hours. So I appreciate that pause at the end so I could set the record straight that the mayor and Ken Frost are not here because they are home ill.
Thank you.
Because Mr. Brown brought that in.
That's who I'm going to blame. I gotta blame somebody.
Well, thank them for not bringing the journeys here.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
Addie,
Yes.
Elder.
Yep.
Bible.
Yes.
Reese, Sleep, Briggs.
Yes.
Dees.
Yes.
Well, I was-